Hello, my name's Norms, and today I'd like to talk to you about end of life care. I know I've wrote about it a couple of times, but I just thought it might be better to try and explain basically what we went through and what we decided on, so hopefully it will help others. When you mention the words end of life care, some people automatically think that unfortunately death is imminent, which not hopefully it is not, but it doesn't mean to that. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is just making plans and making plans to make sure that you don't leave your loved one with all the problems and you don't leave the loved one with everything to sort out. I couldn't do that to my wife. She's been my saviour and she's the one that saved my life many years ago. So how could I be so selfish as to leave everything behind and just let Elaine sort it all out? So what we decided to do, we decided to sit down one day and chat about it. Now, end of life care, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean to say that you're at death's door. But what it does mean is to say, in my case, I have Alzheimer's. So as I get worse, what would I like? I've made it quite clear to Elaine and my family that if ever, God forbid, but if ever I start to shout and rant and rave and raise my arms or my hands in any way whatsoever, then I must be put, not put, placed into a care home and be surrounded by people who can deal with that kind of thing. I would not want my wife to go through that after the way that she's looked after me for so long, and I will certainly not want my children to see that either. Um, Also, with the antipsychotic drugs, I've asked if I could quite possibly, for as long as possible, not to be put on the antipsychotic drugs. But of course, if there is a need for it, and there is a need for some things in some places, then that will have to happen, and I will have to go on them. But until that actually happens, I know that there is a massive cut down at the moment on these drugs. So what we're trying to say is, leave it to the last minute and make sure you think about it very, very carefully before what you do, um, because it can make somebody a totally different person in a lot of ways. When the time comes that I do pass away, then I know now that all my business affairs are in order. I know the way I want things to go. I pick my songs for the funeral. I've also told people I want nobody dressed in black. The thing with dementia is you never know. It's how long is a piece of string? How long is it going to take? There's no defined knowledge about that. No two people are the same. How many times have we heard, once you've seen one person with dementia, you've seen one person with dementia? But every day I'm seeing people on the computer and people on television organising conferences about end of life care and about how things should go for people with dementia and what policies should be made and things like that. And every day I'm dismayed to find out that they've never actually asked a person with dementia what they think should happen and what they think could be improved. These are the things I'm trying to change. There's a lot of things going on at the moment, as you know, and you know I've wrote about it. And things are going to change. Things are changing. We've seen with the What Works resource cards, absolutely brilliant, and hopefully they'll be used worldwide now, because they're like the voice of the people who have dementia. The professionals were very patient with us, and they worked very hard alongside of us to make sure those cards were produced properly and sensitively, and they have been. But those cards are just the beginning. Now we want to take that further. We want to be represented in every conference there is. We want a voice to saying, this is either not good enough, can you change this, or will somebody please listen? And end of life care, there seems to be a rash of conferences over the next couple of months. Seems to be a hot topic at the moment. I would like to ask the question, how can you organise and talk about somebody's end of life care if you're not actually asking the person themselves? We all know with dementia that further down the line, you're quite unable to communicate exactly what you want, but that doesn't mean to say that they still can't communicate with you. That doesn't mean to say that they still don't understand. when I chat with my wife very, very often about things like this, and when I get further down the line or in the later stages, I would be horrified if I thought I was dressed in somebody else's pajamas. I would be horrified to be sat there in a hat that I look totally stupid in, but because people think, oh well, he doesn't know any difference, it won't make no difference. How do they know that? How do they know what's going on? I see with my eyes and I hear with my ears. I might not necessarily be able to speak with my mouth, but who's to say that I don't know what's going on? And I hope this video will explain to people and to carers and to professionals that if you need to know anything, if you want any opinions on anything, please ask the guys who are still able. There must be more guys out there than me that's been diagnosed at my early age. I know there's younger onset groups all over this country. Ask these guys, get them to stand up just like I'm doing. Get them to have a voice and get them to say, no, this is what I would like when I get in later stages. It wouldn't happen in any other disease. Because until there's a cure, let's make no mistake about this, until there's a cure, which there's not at the moment, this disease is terminal. And there's nothing I can do about it. But on saying that, I am fully convinced that they will find a cure in my lifetime. I just know they will. And that's what I hold on to. And that's the reason why I do what I do. And that's the reason why I'm trying to explain this today about end-of-life care. Talk about it. Discuss it. Plan it. And make sure that everything's in place while you still can. Because not only will it give you the peace of mind if you're the person with dementia or cancer or HIV, it doesn't have to be dementia. Plan it, prepare for it, and make sure you get it right, because when you do, you won't imagine the amount of stress that's not only lifted off you, but your loved ones and the people who care for you. They know they don't have all that to do after. They know that everything's in place, and whatever transition you have to go to a better place and a happier place, you'll know that everything will be done to the best of your ability, and you know that your legacy will be, probably could even be the last thing you ever do. Your legacy will be helping your family, and you'll be helping them to get through this awful thing beside yourself. So just think about it. Thank you very much. Bye.